In the golden sands of Egypt, buried under the shadow of colossal statues and temples, there are stories just waiting to be told. We usually think of these incredible monuments as tombs for the dead or houses for the gods. But what if one of them held a secret that was much more critical to the empire? What if it was the engine room of the ancient Egyptian state, the place where the minds that ran the world were made? For centuries, it was a legend whispered among Egyptologists, a secret academy known as the Pernak, or the House of Life. This was a place of incredible power and knowledge, rumored to be hidden somewhere within the temple of the most powerful pharaoh of all, Ramses II. But its exact location was a ghost in the historical record, until now. An Egyptian-French archaeological mission has finally confirmed it. Deep within Ramses II's mortuary temple, the Ramesseum, they've unearthed the first solid proof of this legendary school. This isn't just another pile of stones and pottery. This is the discovery of a lost curriculum, a blueprint for creating the most powerful officials in ancient Egypt. And today, we're redigging past the sand and myth to reveal what really went on inside Ramses the Great's hidden school. So, before we step into these newfound ruins, we need to get our heads around what the House of Life even was. The Pernak wasn't just a school, it was a sacred concept, an institution that held the keys to cosmic order. Watched over by Thoth, the ibis-headed god of writing, wisdom, and magic, these centers were the intellectual and spiritual hearts of the nation. Think of it like a university, a library, a scriptorium, and a government think tank all rolled into one. This is where sacred texts like the Book of the Dead were painstakingly copied, where medical manuals were written, and where star charts were drawn up. Priests learned their rituals, doctors trained for their practice, and architects designed the very temples we still marvel at today, all within a house of life. This was the place where knowledge wasn't just passed down, but actively created and guarded. We've known from ancient texts that these institutions existed in major cities like Abydos and Memphis. But finding one at the temple of a pharaoh as legendary as Ramses II, that was the ultimate prize. For decades, archaeologists suspected one was hidden at his great mortuary temple, but they had zero proof. The legend just hung there, a tantalizing clue that there was more to his monumental complex than met the eye. To get why a school here is such a big deal, you have to understand the man who built it, Ramses II. This pharaoh ruled for an incredible 67 years and was a master builder, a fierce warrior, and a propaganda genius. His legacy is stamped in stone all over Egypt, but his mortuary temple, the Ramesseum, was his masterpiece. He called it the Temple of Millions of Years, which tells you everything you need to know about his ambition. The Ramesseum, located across the Nile from the ancient capital of Thebes, was way more than a temple for his soul. Recent digs have shown it was a massive, self-sufficient economic hub. Archaeologists have found huge storerooms, some still holding jars that once contained wine and honey. They've found traces of workshops for textiles and stonemasons, plus industrial-sized kitchens and bakeries. This wasn't just a place of worship, it was a bustling city built to keep the king's cult and the entire community running.